Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and these are my favorite motorcycle covers. The main question I need to ask myself is, what do I want to use it for? Let's say I want a cover for traveling. Maybe I have a nice safe garage at home, but when I'm out camping or I'm at the motel, well then I want a cover to keep the rain and the thieves off my bike. For that, give me Nelson-Rigg's Deluxe all-season cover. I mean, just look at the thing, it packs down tiny. And when I get wherever I'm going, I can pull this out of my side case and have a really seriously technical cover. I mean, see the shiny band at the bottom? That's aluminized fabric, it's not just bling. And so that means that when I put this cover on, my muffler's not gonna immediately singe a hole through it. And the other thing is this little panel here, that hides a mesh ventilation panel underneath. And so that means that condensation can actually come up and escape from here rather than sticking on my bike. Now the Deluxe All Season isn't actually waterproof, mind you, but I do find that it is good enough as long as I keep a pretty tight fit so there aren't any areas on here where the water could actually pool up and soak through. I have elastic around the base, and then there's actually grommets here at the middle and at the front to tie this cover down against the wind. Now with the Deluxe All Season, Nelson-Rigg was the only one out of all the covers on my list to actually throw in the elastic tie cords that are needed to cinch these grommets together. On the front, there's a Nelson-Rigg logo here, which is nice and vague. See, a motorcycle cover is actually one of the best ways you can prevent theft because people can't tell what's underneath it. Now, the thief's probably not going to risk sneaking a peek under my cover just to find out that I have a piece of crap under here. On the flip side of that logo, there's an anti-scratch panel here just to lay over my windshield. I ordered a size extra large and it fits my V-Strom 1000 pretty well. It sits a little bit higher off the ground than I'd like, but that's pretty typical for sky-high adventure bikes. Now the Deluxe is perfect for traveling, but what if I want to cover my bike at home? I mean, something just to keep the dust off in the garage. Then I can save a lot of money because I can just get Nelson-Rigg's Econo cover. I mean, that Deluxe ran me about 70 bucks, whereas this guy, 35. I mean, it's basically just a motorcycle-shaped plastic sheet. There's nothing to it. No aluminized muffler cover, no soft windshield panel, no elastics, no precise fit. And the benefit of that is that this cover is really easy to put on. I mean, everything else on my list is just gonna kind of magically appear on this bike thanks to the power of video. And that's because they all require some awkward tugging and pulling and strapping and all this jazz, but I mean, with the Econo, it's just that easy. And this is an extra large, by the way. It fits on my V-Strom 1000 pretty good. Now the PVC here is actually fully waterproof, and there are grommets on the middle and at the front to tie it down, so you might be tempted to use this thing outside. But don't do that. The material is really flimsy. I mean, it is more than good enough for indoor use, but if you leave it flapping around in the wind, or, I mean, heaven forbid you try to trailer a bike in this, well, the Econo's just gonna tear itself to shreds. So I'd take this guy for garage use only. And yes, an old bedsheet or a random tarp would pretty much do the same job, but the Econo's only 35 bucks, so why not? Now, let's swing to the other end of the spectrum. Let's say I need a cover to go on my bike all the time, outside, in the rain, in the snow. Something bulletproof. Then I'll fork over 150 bucks for the Dowco Guardian Weatherall Plus. This guy has all of the bells and whistles. I mean, there's a heat shield for my exhaust, there's an anti-scratch shield for my windscreen, elastication, grommets on the bottom. There's also buckled straps where you can use to tie this thing down underneath. It has something that Dowco calls moisture guard, which as far as I can tell just means that there's holes underneath here that are gonna let the condensation out. And the material itself also has a fancy name. They call it ClimaShield Plus. It is 100% waterproof. It's also, I would say, about 5 times sturdier than the Nelson-Rigg Deluxe, probably 50 times sturdier than the Nelson-Rigg Econo. The Weatherall also has 4 little pockets stitched into the inside of the cover there, which is where I could install the Dowco Guardian alarm system if I had actually bought that. Dowco tried to offer absolutely everything with this cover, but in a few areas I think they went a little bit too far. I mean, like this little port here that's supposed to give me access to my disc lock alarm. I mean, really, how hard is it just to do this? I do really like the technical sizing system though. See, this is an adventure touring spec, so obviously it fits my adventure bike perfectly, but I could also get covers specially made for full-dress tourers, Can-Am Spyders, for scooters, for high-rate cruising bikes, for sport bikes, etc, etc, etc. Because the Weatherall Plus is so heavy-duty, and it doesn't pack down as well. I'm not really pleased with this weird backpack thing either. I mean, obviously my cover's gonna end up somewhere in my side case, so I'd way rather have a compression sack than this thing. Kind of like this one. This is the Dowco Guardian Easy Zip cover, and it's actually exactly the same as the Weatherall, except for 4 key things. 1, it comes in the compression bag, which you know I love. 2, it's not compatible with that Dowco Guardian alarm system, which I didn't buy. 3, the sizing isn't as specialized. I mean, there's no adventure touring option, so I had to go with this double XL to get the height that I needed, and then that means that the elastic on the bottom is way too wide for my narrow wheelbase. And 4, there's a zipper. I mean, yeah, this does make it a little bit easier to put the cover on and off, but the main thing I like is that it just gives me quick access to my side case. Other than that, this is the exact same bulletproof cover as the Weatherall. I mean, Dowco actually offers a limited lifetime warranty on this thing because they know they made something really good. And that's it for my favorite motorcycle covers. Give me the Nelson-Rigg Deluxe if I'm traveling, the Nelson-Rigg Econo just for covering my bike in the garage. And then if I need a really heavy duty cover, I'm gonna go for that Dowco Weatherall Plus if my bike requires a special fitment, or maybe if I really care about having a cover alarm. Alternately, if I care more about getting a compression sack and a zipper, then it's gonna be the Dowco Easy Zip. As always, product links are right down below, and thank you guys very much for watching.